Hello, it's Scott Manley here with EXAPUNKS Episode 5. We are to replace words in a message sent to Ghast to change its meaning. Well, this is flattering. Someone found a bunch of my network nodes and sent a tip to Ghast. Too bad I can't have people knowing about me. You're gonna have to hack me out of that message. Are you spying on Ghast? I live on computer networks. Sometimes I see things go by. That's all. Sure. Oh, there he is. Look, he's watching his webcam. Clearly hasn't been one of those smart hackers that covers his webcam with tape. So, I gotta search through this message, and there's a list of keyword pairs, so I gotta replace the word AI with collective, and network with warehouse, and research, blah blah blah. So, clearly, since I can only store one thing in memory and test it at a time, I have to do each word one at a time. I have to scan through, or I could have the two things. This one could be just like continuously feeding them, and I could step one word at a time and do that instead. I think I'll go with the easy route. So we're gonna have two agents. First, so wait a second, we gotta find file 12. So this thing has to link over to the file location. 799. And then grab 212. So now we gotta scan through this file. Okay, so we'll need to scan this every time there's nothing in there. So let me just think. So this is mark loop. Actually, this will be like outer loop, O loop, because there'll be a secondary loop. And we need to check to see if there's any data on the bus first. So there's a command for that. Somewhere here. Test MRD. If this could read from the message bus, then do it. So test. Is it MRD? MRD. I wasn't sure if it was MDR for a second. I get very confused. If that's true, then jump to end. So mark end. Otherwise, we're going to copy the value from the bus into my X register. X register has to be my X register. And now this is the inner loop, right? Yeah, so inner loop will be mark loop. And now we're going to read through and see if any of these match X. So all we're going to do is test whether F is equal to X. And if that's false, we jump FJMP. This is assuming the substitution is in there, of course. If this will fail if we reach the end of the file and the substitution isn't found. Otherwise, we fall out, and the next thing on the bus will be the substitution. So what I should do then is seek backwards 1. And then copy M over my F, and that's me done for this. So at this point I need to then seek back to the start of the file, because we're done, and jump back to the outer loop. And then at the end, I'm not sure what the end will do. The end will probably be just like quit, right? Yeah, I think at that point we just drop it and we're done. Okay, so the second guy, all he does is grab... I keep wanting to do open. It makes so much more sense. Open 300, and we're just going to copy the data out. So we'll do this in pairs. Mark loop, copy F to M, and we'll do these in pairs to make sure this works. And unroll the loop a little, you see how easy that is. And then test EOF, jump to this. I don't know why I'm unrolling this loop, but never mind. If it's false, jump back to loop. Now the last thing it says, move file 200 to the outbox. So this one should drop the file and then link over to 800 while the other one is doing the substitution. And grab to 800. Yeah, I mean I could do this separately, but this will work. And then link 800. What's in this file anyway? And then that's the end of this, right? What is... Move this file to the outbox. Really, is that all it says? Move this file to the outbox. Okay, I'm really confused. Convinced network, I'm like lab connected, like to contact. Heard for AI, something that I don't... Wait, I think the later tests are gibberish. Wait a second. Heard something interesting. Greetings, Ghast. I'm sure you've heard the rumor about the AI, collective, that lives inside an old, unused computer network / warehouse. Well, I thought you might like to know I've just come across something that convinced me it's 100% real. It looks like it's connected to a drug lab. I don't want to say too much here. Contact me back for further thoughts. Major Cheese. And he'll be like, I don't care about the collective that lives in the warehouse. Okay, might have failed here. This might have failed this one. Let's reset it. So wait a second. So test F equals to X, false, jump to the... Let's get to here. Oh, sorry. So Alt. Oh, it's just stuck here. It dies. Why did it die? So it died because something happened, right? Test MRD. Oh, false. Jump to the end. That's my problem. There we go. Substituting words, replacing words, finding the words, replacing the words. There we go. Test run complete. So, 100%. Great. Good. You didn't look at any other files while you were there, did you? No, I didn't, other than the move to outbox. Perhaps your sense of ethics overrode your curiosity. Fascinating. I wonder what's that's like. Are you saying you're an unethical AI construct? That's pretty scary. Get a new issue of the zine, plus a bonus item. A rogue hacker penetrated our system and caused several ATMs to distribute cash in an arbitrary manner, said Equity First spokesman Francis Back in a statement provided to the Times. Rogue hacker. Why do they always have to blame hackers? It was probably just their crappy firmware. Banks suck at code. Banks suck in general.
Hey.
Hey. For horses.
I have some things for you.
Cool.
First off, we got the next zine. Hot off the press.
Not LSD version still. Ghast hands me the next issue of his zine.
Someone help me out.
Yes, that was a nice, awesome person.
I had a balance at the copy shop, but someone hacked it. Speaking of which, I brought you something else.
Cookies? Ghast holds up what looks like a handheld game console.
You remember the Redshift?
The game?
I know people say this thing was underpowered and just a gimmick, but it has its charms. This is the developer version, so you could make something with it if you wanted. The game studio I worked for never took it back after I quit. I'll be happy knowing it's going to a good home.
Oh, I will take care of it with it, love it, and pet it, and
Gotta deliver more zines now. I'll catch you later.
EXAPUNKS, issue number 2. Red Trash World News, brought to you by... Oh look, it's almost certainly... it's like a Game Boy, but they've added one more button. That's kind of... with the 3D mode. That's kind of cool. It does remind me, of course, of the... what do you call it? The Virtual Boy. Hackstasy! There's a new craze sweeping the computer underground. A kind of head-to-head hacker sport that's so cutting edge it doesn't have a proper name yet. I've heard a few bandied around like cybersport, which sounds silly, electronic warfare, which is a term the military is already using, and hacker battles, which is apparently sticking, despite not being a very catchy term at all. So, but hacker battle is a cycle limit, there's storage limit, and final tip, interesting, and this is the 3 cores, 10,000 pixels, 3D graphics, 120, that does not yet. Somebody is living in an alternate universe here. Also, you now get to program games. They tell you exactly how the thing works. That's kind of cool. game link. Always be connected. King's Ransom. Oh man, there's all these games and stuff in here. Oh, modem controls. Interesting. Okay, so there is one interesting thing that I should look at. That's the code repetition, and it explains that you can repeat a section multiple times. Oh, interesting. So there's multiple substitutions. I'm going to have to figure this out. Repeat 3. Wait a second. So this is case 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1. I'm really confused by this. Although unrolling your loops can be more convenient, it can be very tedious. So you have macros. Codes that write code. 1, 2, 1. Oh, so this is 1 incremented by 1. This is 0 started by 1 okay. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Well, let's get back to the game. Sorry, the exploration of the network. KGOG TV. Compete with an opponent for control over a television station. Wow, so this is interesting. Now, I've no idea at this point. I'm really into completely unknown territory. You're gonna join in a hacker battle, but you never say anything in the chat room. I just lurk these days. I guess the only thing that really matters is your ability. As it should be. It's a nice idea. So, to win this battle, you must make your movies play for longer than your opponents. The movie will play when a movie's file is the only movie sitting in a channel's host. Gain 1 point every cycle for each of your movies that is playing. Files 210, 211. Lose 1 point every cycle that a movie isn't yours. Lose 1 point every time one of your EXAs executes a kill instruction. Interesting. So we gotta get our files onto these channels, right? So they have 2 executable agents. So I guess what I'm gonna do is create something that just like continually moves around and moves his files inwards and then takes my files outwards. Okay, so these guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna link 800. Oh, why did I hit tab? Grab one of my files, 210, and move it into a location where I can link 809, and then drop. And then we'll grab the file 265, and then link back to -1, and then drop it, right? So that will be its loop. That's first job. This one will do this. It'll do link 800, and then it'll grab 211, and then it'll link to 867, and then drop. You know what we could do, right? Here's an idea. We'll have each of these go into one of these locations and then just pull the enemy's file back, right? So, what do we want to do? We want to make sure that we're moving files, these ones, okay. So here's the idea, right? We're going to drop it, and then we're going to have a loop where we move all the files back. So I'm just going to copy the same chunk of code, right? Mark, return. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, ret. So we'll grab the value in X and then link -1. So copy. We're going to do all the hostile file names. 265. Copy 265 into X, and then replicate to the return file. Then we're going to do... So this way, if the file is nuked, we don't do this. 261. 231. So wherever the hostile program puts their file, we'll immediately move it back. In fact, I don't need this final one. Although I could do this in a loop if I wanted, right? Like, we're just going to copy this code into all of the locations. So this guy will link over. to 800. And then this one's gone to 867. This one's gone to 809. So this one's going to go to 828. I guess this... I mean, there's no point in doing 265 here, to be honest. Let's put some nops in there. I'm assuming that they're not going to be super hostile. So finally... Yeah, okay, let's see how this works. Ready? So they're grabbing their files, and they're terminating. Oh, I can't replicate because I have too many processes. So that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay, so you know what? Yeah, let's have this guy just move this back, right? We're not going to do a replicate. We're just going to grab 265 because we know that's in there. Now for the other ones, we can actually, yeah, we're going to have a process that goes in there. So this one is going to be the dude that does that. Let's just get rid of all this stuff. So this one's going to terminate, and then this guy is going to start trying to grab all the stuff from all the places. So replicate, drop that, and then we'll repeat this, right? We'll go to a new location. How do I get back? -1. Because none of these locations are particularly useful. Mark return. So if that isn't there, he will fail, right? But if I try to open a file that doesn't exist, then the process dies. That's the other thing. Or if it's held by another one. So I could kill these guys doing that. Yeah, let's just unroll this the easy way. I don't think I've got storage issues, right? So I'm going to now do link REPL. I'm going to link -1. 828. And then just repeat this process. Finally, link -1. Link 809. This is darn ugly, but it's going to do just fine. Although, you know what? I could actually do this. How about have this one handle the other hosts? It's going to grab there. At this point, we don't need to worry about 265, I imagine, because I'll have done that. 265 isn't my file, so let's minimize this. Link in 809, just in case those files are in there. And then, you know what? Here we go. And we don't need a replicate here. Okay, let's see how this works. Taking the files back, taking the files back. How come we didn't get in there? We made a mistake somewhere. This guy goes to 8-2. Who goes to 867? Oh, this guy goes to 867. I got him confused. We'd already done 828. Now we're going to link to 867. Okay. There we go. Look, getting both my files in there, putting their files back. Thank you! This is how this works. Took me a little time to figure it out. But of course, the hacker strategy might be different. I like how we got all these video feeds, they're kind of neat. The opponent isn't getting more than like 8 points every time, and I'm almost doubling the, almost getting 200. So I'm winning the hacker battle. My rating, S+. My solution has been uploaded for new opponents to play against. Well, it's pretty easy once you know what it is. Now, I think the best way to do this is to have some sort of, random checking, random spawning or whatever. You're off to a good start. I knew you were good at what you did. Even after you forgot, you picked it right back up. That's why I contacted you. I found the right person. Definitely wasn't that. I just started talking to the first human being I found, who seemed like they could program. That would be silly. Who is Moss? Jeff Moss, perhaps? Moss came into a TV station and beat me. Nobody's heard from Moss in years. What if Moss is back? Ah! I thought Moss died. I can confirm Moss is alive. Really? How do you know? Let's just say I'm pretty confident. Cool. Gonna hacker battle Moss 2. Sweet! Okay, so hacker battles are a thing, and I think I will need to come up with some better strategies. This does kind of remind me in part of Core Wars, which was an old programming game I used to play many years ago, but a whole lot simpler at this point. Anyway, that'll be the end of this episode. Until then, I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.